Yo, yo, live from my dining room, episode 3 of the NY Yankee Dad podcast. It's been a while. Haven't recorded a podcast since about late November. It was actually before Thanksgiving, but here we are. And it has been a while, and a lot has happened since then. So just go through a little rundown. Um, it's definitely the holiday season. We're creeping up on Christmas. Friday, December 20th, right now, almost the 21st, 10 minutes to midnight. And Christmas is definitely creeping up upon us. Yankees made a move tonight. They dealt backup catcher Jose Trevino to the Cincinnati Reds for the right-handed relief pitcher Fernando Cruz, big right-hander, and backup catcher Alex Jackson. Now, Alex Jackson spent some time with Tampa Bay last year. He was third in the frame rate for catches, so most likely will be the backup catcher, one of those old, prototypical glove first receiver type catchers. And Fernando Cruz, you're gonna look at, you'll see a high ERA over 4, but he does have some nasty stuff. And Matt Blake is known, for a reclamation project or two. So we'll see. Jose was, definitely a good Yankee. Um, when they basically when he was acquired, it was right before spring training. So could even see a move like that for the Yankees this year. But Trevino towards the end here had the problems with throwing guys out, and the Yankees, in money standpoint, it was on the for the roster and the payroll. He came out, as we talked about in the arbitration episode, that it was only about 3.5 million on the payroll towards next year, but Yankees move on from Jose Trevino, the former All-Star catcher. And since our last podcast episode, and just want to let you guys know, you can find me at NY Yankee Dad on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. So and that's going to start to be more of a regular occurrence, as we creep through the off season and into the regular season when we get there. But since our last episode, which was November 23rd, Clay Holmes signed with the New York Mets, along with, everyone knows, Juan Soto with his 15-year, $765 million record-breaking contract to make him the highest paid professional athlete in the world. Yankees later, same day that became official, the Yankees traded catcher from the 40-man roster, minor league catcher Carlos Narvaez, to the Boston Red Sox for minor league right-handed relief pitcher Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. The Yankees traded Nestor Cortez and the projected starting second baseman, as we were told, to the Milwaukee Brewers for the phenomenal elite right-handed pitching Devin Williams. Now, Devin Williams, we have, talked about in the past, way in the past, early when the channel first started. Last year, he was a trade recommendation. I guess, it was just a little bit a year early. But Devin Williams, who, as we talk about, from the money standpoint for the payroll, it's about the same thing. He makes about the same amount of money as Nestor Cortez will be projected to make after arbitration. It's that $7 to $8 million range. And Caleb Durbin, who, let's be real, he had a great Arizona fall league, but he wasn't even one of those Yankee he wasn't a top 10 Yankee prospect that you heard about or you were even expecting, and all of a sudden burst onto the scene. It would have been, kind of got to a point where you were thinking about it, you were getting excited to see what he was going to be. And there he goes, with Nestor, another great Yankee, during his tenure here, and another Yankee former All-Star. Nestor, just towards the end, it didn't work out. It didn't, and unfortunately, this is a business. us, the fans, it's a little different, but it's definitely a business. And, when it's time to move on, it's time to move on. And the Yankees get an elite closer. Coming off, he did have his injury woes last year, but you can have injuries with any player that goes for any sport. There's always injuries involved, but to have a young relief pitcher, definitely Mariano Rivera-esque in a sense, where his career ERA in 6 seasons is, I believe, it's 1.83. Just unbelievable. He had, in last year he had about 22 saves from, even with his back injury that he had early in the season and when he returned. But this was the Team USA closer in the World Baseball Classic, and just Devin Williams is, you'll see his airbender, that changeup that looks like a screwball. He's just lights out. Gonna definitely be fun. Could it be a 1 year rental? We will see. Um, Hopefully not. But Nesta's contract is expiring after the season. Caleb Durbin, you can look at it as he was just another one of those prospects that the Brewers, and he's definitely the type of player that the Brewers would have interest in. That scrappy, fast, good fielding, athletic. They like to run a lot. So best of luck to Caleb Durbin, and definitely best of luck to Devin Williams. Another record-breaking contract. Yankees signed left-handed ace from the Atlanta Braves, Max Fried, to an record-breaking for a left-handed starting pitcher, highest paid starting left-handed starting pitcher. Um, Max Fried is making 218 million over 8 years. Now, a lot of people are saying how it's a bad contract. Now, a lot of the contracts now for any type of player of quality is going to come across looking as, in my opinion, as an overbuy, of what, the majority would kind of say what they're worth now. The Yankees, as you saw, even with the Juan Soto negotiations, they were willing to go 16 years for 760 million, and Juan chose to take the 15 years, 765 million. But it seems to me that the Yankees are willing to add that extra year because it lowers the average annual value of the numbers of the contracts, for that, based off of what you have to pay towards the luxury tax. And Yankees were willing to go the extra year. It was reported that Boston offered Max Fried a 7 year contract, so the Yankees went above that with an 8 year one and signed their guy. You heard Booney say at the press conference that at the winter meetings, Max Fried was at the top of their board. He was the guy they wanted to get. You've heard us talk about how comparing him to Jimmy Key. And for those of you who don't know who Jimmy Key was, same type of pitcher, that soft contact, bulldog mentality, could get guys out. And this is why we've been saying we have to solidify the infield here, because definitely can't have the infield playing the way it was playing last year with Max Fried out on the mound. And now those same players aren't going to be on the team, but still, got to solidify the infield as of right now. Based off of the players that are here, Ben Rice is the first baseman. Second base, you're looking at Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza, type of split. Volpe at shortstop, of course. Third base, as far as we know, it's Jazz Chisholm. Now the big question is Jazz going to move over to second base? We know he can play a little bit at the outfield, but I don't think he's going to be playing much at the outfield with the newly acquired Cody Bellinger, who the Yankees went out and got. They traded Cody Poteet to the Chicago Cubs for Cody Bellinger, and they also received $5 million in cash from the Cubbies. And Cody has a opt out after this season, so it's a player option that he has on his contract. But Cody is definitely one of those guys that fits the mold of what the Yankees were talking about, what they wanted. Better, better defensively, more athletic. Good base runners. That's definitely what Cody Bellinger is. Former Rookie of the Year and National League MVP. A lot of people are talking that he's fallen off. I mean, I don't know how a 28, 29-year old is fallen off and washed up, but Cody Bellinger is definitely a fine ball player, son of a former Yankee champion, Clay Bellinger, and it's always nice to see, having guys, come back who have that linked to Yankee legacy. So, and you saw the picture of Cody as a young kid, and even he talked about during his Zoom press conference growing up with the Pettits of the few years that his dad, played here, and Cody is a damn good ball player himself. We're gonna see if he's gonna play center. He can play left. He can play first base. All those positions he can play pretty damn good. He has a great arm. He's fast. You're gonna see belly bombs. He's gonna definitely utilize that short porch. Mostly all fields. His swing is a little bit different from the days of when his rookie of the year and MVP days, but definitely got his contact numbers up, and even his average, and more spraying the ball around the field. But we'll see if he's going to be playing center field or first base, either or. I think he's going to do pretty good. Um, at either of those positions. If Jason Dominguez, you're going to put him in left, you're going to put him in center. You can even see Cody Bellinger maybe even playing left field or just moving around. There's, a lot of reports talking now that there's interest in Paul Goldschmidt, who, another one, an older player, definitely an older player, um, who you can see that, the obvious is the trend in his career is on the downtrend, but still a great nice ball player. But it's all speculation. We don't know yet which route the Yankees are going to take. Christian Walker signed with the Houston Astros actually earlier today. It was reported to be a 3-year deal, 3 years, 60 million. The Yankees were linked to Christian Walker. They didn't go that route. Houston did. It's been said that they're worried about the draft picks that are tied to some of these free agents because they received qualifying offers. There was 13 players that received those qualifying offers, and Christian Walker being one of them. So that's what the reports are saying. That would the same thing would go for the Mets slugging, former Mets slugging first baseman Pete Alonso. He would acquire, a draft pick tied to signing him. Same thing goes to Alex Bregman, and they all received the qualifying offers. There were three of those guys that did. So that's what the reports were saying. But today, a lot of Paul Goldschmidt talk, and the Yankees went out and they traded Jose Trevino, the backup catcher, for Fernando Cruz and Alex Jackson. And I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with first base. It is kind of concerning to me based off of how Yankee teams were built in the past and how they always were built in the past. The emphasis of first base and how it was just a strong position of power in the lineup. Whether it was a lefty or a righty, it was always a prolific power hitter who was there to bop. That pretty much was there to bop, and they can always just pick it at first. And you know, I just think Pete Alonso would be that guy that not I even if Juan Soto signed with the Yankees, I wanted Pete Alonso to come back. But it wouldn't be my answer to Juan Soto going to the Mets. It's just who's the best first baseman available, and I think that's Pete Alonso. So whether with the qualifying offer, the draft pick that's tied to it, they talk about getting the best team out there, the best first baseman available. From a free agency standpoint. right now. In my opinion, would be Pete Alonso. But it's all like we were saying, it's all speculation. We don't know which route they're gonna go. It could be a trade. We will see. There's just a lot of names that have been flying around who it could be. Nathaniel Lowe of the Texas Rangers is another one. He would have to be had via trade. And and there's the free agents, and you're hearing about Nolan Arenado, the no trade list. The Yankees are on his no trade list, but if Paul Goldschmidt was to sign, maybe he would change his mind. I don't think that would probably be the best route for the Yankees to take, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on that front. Still need to with Cody Bellinger, is he gonna play first? Is he gonna play center? Left? What where's Jason Dominguez gonna be? Because the not that you'd want to replace Jason Dominguez. It's at that time now where you want to kind of see what the kid has, and it would be best to do it early in the season, because if it for some any reason it doesn't work out, it's a lot easier to fix it early in the season than later in the season. But just got to see where positions what positions are where what positions are going to be filled, where guys are going to play, because I just don't want to see it like last year. I know the Yanks were the best team in the American League last year. They lost in the World Series to the Dodgers, but guys can't be out of position. I know Jazz did a great job at third, but I really, really would like to see him play second. Really would like to see him play second, move over to a natural position. It's just not that he did a bad job at third base. It's just that over time, if it's not not the proper spot, and if it's a forced spot, it always finds you. And how something bad can happen, and we saw how bad things can happen in that fifth inning. But let's put that in the rearview mirror. But the guys got to stop playing out of position. First baseman, get a first baseman in here. You saw in the playoffs, John Birdie was at first base in the playoffs, over Anthony Rizzo. They thought so highly of John Birdie, they non-tendered him at the non-tender deadline. Just, so the non-prioritize, non-prioritization of the first base position is just a little concerning to me back in the old days past, because not saying Ben Rice can't do it. It's just based off of his performance from what we've seen last year. Now, I was at that 3 home run game against Boston at Yankee Stadium. It was cold pitch that day. It was really, really hot. And Ben Rice bopped the 3 home runs. It was a great, great game, but let's be real, throughout the season, that's pretty much all he really did, and all that you can really remember. I mean, first base needs to be a position of consistency. Now, Anthony Rizzo is a fan favorite, one of my favorites personally, but let's be real here again. He was, barring injuries aside, performance-wise, he was not getting the job done. Now, when you're comparing to Yankee teams of the past, which a lot of people don't like to do, but when you're comparing to teams of the past that had success, the first basemen were, guys like Tino Martinez, Mark Teixeira. You can even say Jason Giambi. Now, of the Yankee teams that were successful, and you can't really say that for teams, in the last recent years, because it's just been almost like a revolving door. I mean, Rizzo held down the position for a few years, but it seems, first base been a revolving door besides Brett Gardner, and, left field has been a revolving door for a long time. It's just something, gotta solidify those spots, because in the long run, those things can come back and bite you. Um, there's a lot of rumors going around with Alex Bregman, where Alex Bregman's going to go. We will see. That's another name I would say keep an eye on, not just for the Yankees, just in general. He's one of the best free agents still on the board out there available. Corbin Burns is still available. Yankees definitely bolstered their starting rotation with Max Fried. Definitely bolstered the pitching with Devin Williams at the back end. What's going to happen with Roki Sasaki? The Mets with the team reported that met with him yesterday. Also, the Yankees did as well. So, what's going to happen with Roki Sasaki? And that's not a highest bidder situation. That's basically he's going to go where he wants to go because he's a international international free agent. It's a little different. He's underage of the for the international free agents to post like a regular free agent, just like Shohei Ohtani did when he first came over before his uh his big record deal that he had last off season. But we'll see what the Yankees are going to do here. First base should definitely, you know, something that we might be seeing soon. Definitely something we might be seeing soon. And I is there any going to be any more trades? Will they go the trade route? Will it be the free agent route? We will see. But all you guys out there, make sure you check me out on the socials. Like I was saying, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and recently YouTube. I post the podcast episodes on YouTube, and most active I would say is my Instagram, especially my Instagram stories. So definitely check that out. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy the holiday season. I say enjoy your weekend. The college football playoff started tonight. I saw the alert. Notre Dame won. I didn't watch the game, but the college football playoffs look like they could be a lot of fun. Football here in New York definitely isn't fun. If you're a Giant fan, if you're a Jet fan, basically fighting over who's getting the higher draft pick. It's despicable in my opinion, and actually turns me off to the sport. It doesn't excite me that hearing like my dad and my uncle telling me, and even my father-in-law saying it's the worst Giant team they've ever seen. That's something. 100 season, worst season. It's a real terrible thing. So it's hard to watch the sport, but playoffs will be here. Before we know it, it'll be the Super Bowl. Christmas is a few days away. Christmas, Hanukkah, the holiday season. Happy New Year. In about a week, it just creeps up on you real fast, and before we know it, it'll be spring training, and and away we will be going. So Yankees have some holes to fill here. I would like to see, I would really like to see, an alert come across somewhere about a first baseman coming to the Bronx. But the outfield now with Bellinger, I mean Bellinger, you say yeah, first baseman, he can play first, but Bellinger is going to be needed in the outfield and mixed around at first and the outfield. But we'd like to see, a real bopping first baseman come to Yankee Stadium. We know we got to return to the way we were last year, and got to be better because we didn't win. But have a great one, everyone. Have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a merry Christmas. God bless, and as always, go Yankees.